Okay, I'm getting my collage together. I glued on these little pieces on my coffin, but I haven't glued it down to the paper yet. And I want to glue out or cut out my cat. And so I'm just going to start cutting in there. I don't want the white outline to show because on the outside, because I want it to look like the white are like the bandages, the mummy bandages. So I'm going to carefully cut out around with the black. My lines are nice and thick, so it's kind of easier for me to do, but around the whiskers, I'm probably just going to have to go around that on the outside. But if your lines are thinner, that might be harder to do. You might have to get a little white border. But you're just going to very carefully cut out what you want. And you may not have your whole cat on all of your images. So like this first one, he's going to be coming out of this coffin. I might just get that much, or I could have him sitting on top. I think I'm going to cut him out and then play around with how I want to do it before I glue it down. Okay, I have been collaging and cutting away. And this is kind of my 3 panels. This is my story is, and I might have to change the order of this, but this is the first one where he's coming, my mummy cat is coming out of his coffin. He's going on an adventure outside in the desert near the pyramid, and here he's meeting up with his hippo friend in, I guess, a sunset and a watery scene. So I had thought about possibly putting another cat in, like he met his twin or something like that, but I decided to do the hippo instead. So in class, what I recommend is that you storyboard this out first, kind of sketch out what your game plan is. It can be a loose idea, that's fine. And then start cutting and gluing one panel each class. So that way there's not too many. If I were to have to leave, then this would all get mixed up. So I would, for each of you guys, I would cut and arrange the panels as you go. You don't have to have your whole mummy in each one. You could have the cat coming, or whatever kind of mummy you have. You could have him coming out. You could have him partially in, like the hippo is partially in. I could do that with the cat. I might do that. But yeah, so you're gonna cut things out, play around with it, and then glue everything down with a glue stick. Make sure it sticks really well, and make sure you write your name on each of your panels on the back. Okay, I'm now done with my collage. I moved a few things around. You can see with this middle cat, I decided to cut off his tail and make it look like it was hanging down below his little raft. So you guys can do things like that. Guys, this is the part where I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be hard. We have to measure. So what we're gonna do first is you're gonna get a white colored pencil and a ruler. You're gonna set your collage pieces out of the way, and you're gonna be working on a black piece of paper. So you are first going to measure 1 inch down from the top, and you're gonna align your 0. Here, I think this will be easier to see on the camera. I'm gonna align the edge of my ruler with the paper, and then down here at the 1 inch mark, I'm just gonna make a dot. That's the best way to get a really straight measurement. Instead of making a crazy long line, just doing a dot. So I have 2 dots on the top of my paper at the 1 inch mark, and I'm going to line up this big yardstick, and I'm going to trace that. That's my top measuring mark. And then I'm going to start at the side, so I'm going to turn it this way. I'm going to use my small ruler again just because it's easier. Do my 1 dot, just a small dot, and my 2nd dot, and then this one I can actually use this little guy. So I'm going to line it up. Whoops. So this is how this is going to go. And then these papers are 4.5 inches wide. This will actually be easier because you can put your collage there and trace that for a line. So but after you get that side of it, you're going to have to measure 1 inch again with 2 dots. And the reason you do 2 dots in math, you guys know 2 points equal a line. Okay, so then you're going to trace your other. Okay, you know what? I'm going to use this guy as a measuring one because he's the straightest of the 3 that I have. Great. Okay, so that's all you have to do. So you have 1 inch from the top, 1 inch from the side, then you're going to trace your straightest one of these, and then 1 inch from there, 1 inch from that, and 1 inch from that. But you don't have to worry about tracing the last one. So before we glue these cuties down, we are going to make this outline into a cool gold frame, Egyptian style. Okay, so now I've got my printing placemat down, I've got my gold paint, and my paper is marked up at least pretty well at the top. So I'm going to get this piece of paper, dip and dab, and it doesn't matter if it's staying in the lines because our other thing is going over there. So you guys get the idea. I don't have to worry about it staying in the lines because the collages are going to go over top of those lines. I guess I do kind of want to see those marks somewhat. At this point, I'm going to brush on some glue, make sure to get the edges really well, and I'm going to place it on the lines. I think on mine I can see enough where they are, so I think I'll be alright. But if you have painted over yours and you really can't see anything, then you may want to make another mark for yourself.